Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I thought I would show you my top 21 books I plan on reading for 2021 because 21 books, yes. So these are my choices. Definitely all backlisted. I regretfully didn't get the chance to read them in 2020. So I'm hoping I can read them for 2021. So let's get started. So the first one is Jodi Picoult's Mercy. This, my friend Beth, she highly recommends for me to read this. And I love Jodi Picoult. Like, if you need something that's gonna rip you apart, Jodi Picoult is the kind of author that will rip you apart, have you in your feelings, and yeah. So this is based in Massachusetts, and there's like a murder trial. Like, I love books about police officers, so yeah, this is on the top of my list because, like I said, Beth recommended it and she said it's really, really good. And I was like, oh my God, I own that book. And she was like, oh my God, you have to read it. So yes, this is why I want to pick this book up. Next is Carrie Marie Moning's Dark Fever. This is one of the books I snagged at BookCon, like my first BookCon. It's set in Ireland. It has to do with the Fae. So yeah, I would like to start incorporating more books about faith and supernatural. So yeah, this is why I want to pick up this one definitely for 2021. Next is Thomas Harris Red Dragon. The reason why I want to read this is because it has to do with Hannibal Lecter, and I loved the show, the movie, and we all need a little psychopathic thriller in our lives, so why not read Red Dragon? Next is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I don't know much about this book. All I know is that it's super hyped and everyone keeps talking about it all over the internet. So yeah, and if it's a fantasy, and I mean, living for fantasies is a chunky book, but yeah, I think it'll be super good and I cannot wait to read The Name of the Wind. Next, I would like to read the Southern Book Club Guide to Slaying Vampires. This has to do with vampires, and the main protagonist, she like is in a book club, and yeah, I feel like I haven't read any books about book clubs. I don't think I have, and yeah, it has to do with vampires, and a bunch of kids go missing, and she's already invited the vampire into her life. So yeah, this is another top read for 2021. I mean, vampires set in the South, why not? Next, I would like to read The Glass Castle by Emily St. John Mandel. She's the author that actually wrote Station 11, and I loved Station 11, so I have no doubt that I will like The Glass Hotel. I mean, set in a freaking island and like mysteries, and so far everyone's saying that it's really captivating and it's really good. So yeah, I'm here for this book. I mean, the cover is absolutely stunning, so why not? Liane Moriarty's 9 Perfect Strangers is a book with 9 people. They are at this health resort. Some are trying to lose weight, here for that, and some are there to like make themselves better, but I want to see how their lives intertwine together and like what this is all about. So many people raved about it, and I have only read Big Little Lies by Liane Moriarty. So yeah, this is also a hefty book. So yeah, I would love to read this, especially since I got it from like a month in November 2018. So yeah. Another book of the month club book that I would like to read is Alice Hoffman's Magic Lessons, and this is a prequel to Practical Magic. So no, I did not read Magic Lessons. The one I did read was The Rules of Magic, and I did read that one, and I love anything to do with like the Practical Magic like series that she's doing. So yeah, and this is like one of the prequels to it, and I definitely want to read it because I love their storyline. I love like how she describes like the whole like them coming into their powers and stuff like that. So yes, this is a definitely must read for 2021. Another book of the month. There's a lot of book of the months, okay? Is Home Before Dark by Riley Sagar. This is a thriller, and I loved her Lock Every Door book. And I like to go into like thriller books blindly. And yeah, I'm really excited about this one. I know it's set in a mansion and it's like a house, you know, with lots of secrets. So yes, Riley Sagar is one of my top authors that I love to read, and I actually enjoy her books. So yes, I would love to read this book by them, Riley Sagar. Next, I would like to read The Blade Itself by Joe Abercrombie. This is the first book in the First Law trilogy, and so many people are like ranting and raving about this book, and I would love to get immersed into like a good fantasy, like kind of like, you know, murderous, you know, old school vibes. This is another chunky book, but yes, murder, conspiracies, like why not? I am living for books that are like this. So yes, let's see. Revenge plots, maybe, hopefully. Yeah, I'm excited, and it's a fantasy, so yes. I would like to read Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer. This is a part of the Twilight saga. I love Twilight. I mean, my dog's name is Bella. And yeah, this is set through Edward's point of view of how everything went down. So yes, this is another chunker. Like, why is there so many chunky books here? I don't know. But yes, I would love to read Edward's perspective. I've heard mixed reviews about it. Mimi told me that it's basically almost the same thing. A lot of things are repetitive, but yeah, I would love to know Edward's point of view of how he perceived, you know, like how things went down between them. So yes, I am excited for this. This is Stephen King's If It Bleeds. I love this cover so much. And this is 4 different books or stories in this book. So I'm excited to see like what 4 stories are in here. So I think it's Life of Chuck, Mr. Harrigan's Phone, If It Bleeds, and what's the next one? And Rat. So yes, I started reading The Stands, and I put it down for a while, but I've yet to read fully through a Stephen King book, but I think If It Bleeds will be a little bit easier to read. And yeah, I'm excited to finally start and finish a Stephen King book. Another book of the month book, Kristen Hanna's The Great Alone. Did I read anything by Kristen Hanna? I'm not too sure, but it's based on Alaska, and I heard a lot of people say that this is a tearjerker. It's really good, and I love books set in Alaska because your girl will love to live in Alaska one of these days. So yeah, I'm really excited about this book because I need more Alaska books, stories in my life. This is The Gilded Wolves by Roshana Chasky. I've heard so many great things again. And it has to do with like a heist Bless you. It has to do with a heist, and it's set in Paris. So yeah, I love the cover, and this is something I've been wanting to read since 2019. So yes, I have to start, reading more and pushing some of these books upwards. Sarah J. Maas, Crescent City. This is the first book of the House of Earth and Blood, and it is a fantasy, and I have yet to read anything by Sarah J. Maas. I think the only thing I read from her was her Catwoman retelling. So yeah, there's fallen angels, there's archangels, there's magic and power and stuff like that. So I think this is going to be a great read. It's just so intimidating, and like the pages are really thin. Oof, girl, you're killing me with this book. But yeah, as soon as this book came out, I actually bought it. It's almost 800 pages. This is a tome. Yeah. So yeah, I definitely need to read this book so I can see what all the hype is about. Next is Drive by Neal Shusterman and Java Shusterman. I actually did a chapter on this book, and it is a post-apocalyptic book set in California where, there's a drought, there is no water. So yes, love that. I mean, feels post-apocalyptic right now in the world we're living in, but so we will see. And I definitely want to read this. I take the try chapter tag really helped, because I was like not really interested in this book, but then once I tried the chapter, I was like, oh yes, this is really interesting. So yes. Next is Romanovs by Nadine Brandeis. I don't know if I'm saying her name right. I'm so sorry. But yes, this is the Romanovs retelling, and I'm here for retellings lately, and it's only 337 pages. So it's a Romanov retelling, and I love the Romanovs. Anastasia, one of my favorite Disney movies. So yes, not even royal blood can stop bullets. Like, come on. Like, the cover is so pretty, and this was gifted to me, so I definitely need. The City of Brass by S.A. Chakrabarty. I don't know if I'm butchering her name. I'm so sorry. So this is the first book in the Daevabad trilogy. Again, heard so many great things. It's set in Cairo and it's 18th century, and it has to do with a female that I think it has to do with like magic and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm excited. Like, this cover is beautiful, and oh, I want to read it so bad. I've heard so many great things about it. Definitely need to read it. Next, The Huntress by Kate Quinn. This has to do with a female who's actually hunting down Nazis for their war crimes. And yes. So, we will see how I feel about this. And yeah, I just love how this book is. Like, I love World War II books. I feel like sometimes I like to break them up apart from each other, because I read a lot of like books of World War II, like a lot. So yes, this is something that flew into my radar. I actually bought this book secondhand, and when I saw it, I was like, this looks really good. So I'm glad I was able to pick this up. Next, I would like to read The Alienist by Caleb Carr. It has to do with a serial killer, and it's based in New York. So yes, and this is actually, if I'm not mistaken, it's a series on TNT, so I wanted to read the book before I delve into the series. That's the reason why I picked it up. And I mean, like, set in New York, serial killer. What more do I need? So yeah. Next is Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. This is another book that I did a taste test on, and she's the author from The Night Circus. I really enjoyed The Night Circus, and this book has to do with like pirates and the sea, and I'm excited because I haven't really read I don't think I've ever read any pirate books set in the sea. So yeah, this is definitely something that's out of my comfort. I'm super excited to read. So that's it. That's the 21 books I would like to read for 2021. Let me know which ones you liked from the books that I showed you. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and see you in the next video. Bye.